family, welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sibiano Mtandazo. If you are joining us for the first time, please click the subscribe button down below to join the Mentorship Corner family. To our returning subscribers and the TMC family, welcome back. Welcome to another video where we are all going to learn and grow together. There's this sound audio on Instagram that says, Mina vele ngiyakuthanda ukuhamba. I'm a street lover. Angithandi ukuhlala ekhaya. It resonates so much with today's video that, basically on today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how relocating or like traveling or staying in different places has changed my life for the better. To begin this video, I'm going to share with you guys the couple of places that I've stayed at for the past 5 years. I started working in 2019. I think it was February or March. Feb. I started working in February 2019, and so from 2019 till 2023, we're looking at about 5 years. So I've been working for the past 5 years, and in the 5 years that I've been working, I have relocated and stayed in 3 provinces. I know, but let me explain the reasons why I moved. One, I moved to explore, I moved to learn about new things, new cultures, new environments, new personalities, new people, and obviously food. I moved because I think it's fun to start fresh in a new space and to explore a new space. But most importantly, I move when I see an opportunity for me to grow. For all the 3 moves, I have moved because I felt like I needed to get out of the space that I was in, to push myself out of my comfort zone in order for me to grow in my career, and hence the moves, right? But let me just walk you through the few places I've stayed at, and then I'll tell you guys how the moving has changed my lives, and basically I'll also share how I feel like it's helped me to broaden my personality, right? So firstly, when I moved, I studied in KZN. I was born in KZN, in a small village called Eshowe, small town called Eshowe, Ekaya in a small village. That's where I grew up until I finished high school. Then my parents got married and they moved to Empangeni, but that's a story for another day because I never really stayed in Empangeni. I used to just go there to visit. So after high school, I then went and studied optometry at University of KwaZulu-Natal, Westville, the Westville campus, and I was there for 4 years. After 4 years, I decided to take a short break because I was just like, university is big, guys, and I was just tired and drained and exhausted. So I asked my parents to not work. So I didn't work my December, I didn't work my January, and I started working in February. So when I started working in February, I worked in PE, Port Elizabeth, now known as Gqeberha. So I worked in PE for about 4 months, and then after 4 months, I moved to Johannesburg, and then I stayed in Joburg from June, 2019 up until last year March. So then I was in Joburg for like about 2 years and a couple of months. So then I moved from Eastern Cape in PE to Joburg. When I moved to Joburg, I stayed at Idwala Boutique Hotel. It's a self-catering place, so I stayed there for about 2 months, and then I moved because basically I was on a graduate program, so they paid for all your rent and stuff. Then when I had to move, when I started working officially, I moved to a Riverside. It's called Riverside View. It is in Fourways, like next to Steyn City. So I moved to Riverside. I stayed there for about a year. Then after that, I relocated again to Fourways, near Douglasdale. And I stayed there for like another year, and then I moved again after a year to Glenmarais. It's in Kempton Park. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay and explore the area that much because I only stayed in Glenmarais for a month. So I moved in beginning of March, and then I got the job offer to come back to KZN mid-March. And then by the time it was end of March, I actually didn't sign my lease. I told them that I'm actually moving out. So then I moved out. And then I crossed provinces again and I moved back to KwaZulu-Natal, my home province, if you can say that. And then I moved to Potchefstroom. When I stayed in Potchefstroom, like the first couple of months, I stayed in a township called Igamalake. Igamalake was actually quite nice, except they had a protest and I couldn't go to work, and that freaked the hell out of me. And then this one time, they were beating up someone on the streets because I think that guy had stole something and she was being beaten up by a woman. And I was just like, oh, this place is ghetto. So I moved Igamalake last year, end of the year, to where I am now. I stay in 20, and I've been here for like what, for like 10 months, 11 months now. So yeah, I've basically moved close to I've stayed in like 6-7 places in the past 5 years. I've crossed provinces. I've stayed in over 3 cities or towns. And honestly, I would do it all over again because there's just something about starting afresh that excites me so much that I just have to do it. Do I have any regrets about relocating and moving? No. Am I happy that I actually did it? Extremely happy that I did, because I feel like some of the best moments in my life came from moving and building new relationships and building new families. Every time I move, I always say build your own family wherever you are, so that you know that you've got people you can count on. And that's what I've been doing. In PE, I didn't really have a family per se because I wasn't there for too long, but I built good relationships with the Uber drivers because I didn't have a car. So I had literally 2 Uber drivers that I knew was okay, fine. If I'm going to town or if I'm going to the mall or if I'm going out, if I call this guy, he'll be able to pick me up. If I call him, he'll be able to like drop me off or whatever. So I built good relationships with my Uber drivers. I had good relationships with the cashiers. So I shopped. I mainly shop for food, guys. Like, food is the most important thing. Like clothes, I normally buy them online. So I had a good relationship with a few ladies at Checkers and a few ladies and guys at Woolworths, because that's where I normally bought food. So because of that close-knit family, I was happy and comfortable where I was. And then after PE, I moved to Joburg. In Joburg, I stayed there for a lot longer, so I was able to build meaningful, deep connections and relationships with people around me that I met there. In Joburg, I've got amazing friends. I've got friends who, if I go to Joburg now, they would actually open up their homes for me to sleep over. They would welcome me with warm, open arms to actually take me in and be with me and share and basically build new memories together. So that I was able to build that, and it wasn't just like people I call friends, like close friends, but I was also able to build a beautiful family around my patients, around like the shops where I worked and the shops where I shopped. I also had an Uber driver there that I was quite close with, who would pick me up if I didn't want to drive and the works. So that was always like, building a family and a network has always been like one of my top priorities when I moved to a new area. And when I moved down to PE, I did exactly the same thing. I came down here, I knew one person when I moved to PE, just one person, but right now I know over 20 people, and I have probably with 5 or more of the 20, I have deep, meaningful connections and relationships with them. And it's all because of the power of networking and the power of trying to build a family wherever I go, so that I know, Wuti, should I be stranded in PE, I have a shoulder to cry on. Should I need something in Johannesburg, I have people that I can count on. Should I need something in Potchefstroom, I have people that I can count on. But apart from just that, I love to build meaningful relationships, because it means that I pour into your cup and you pour into mine, and that way we are able to actually both serve each other equally and to love and bask in that love together equally. And that has been one of like the greatest gifts that life has given me. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So with all the moving and relocating and trying out new places and new things and networking and meeting new people, I have learned 5 things that have changed my life for the better. And I'm going to share with you guys today. The first one is I have had to learn to be more confident in who I truly am. Because if you're moving around a lot, you want people from each space to know you as that one person. So with that, I have been forced to dig a little bit deeper and do a proper self-discovery, and self-love, and just to accept who I am truly and be able to express myself truly and be able to be confident in my own skin. And that has been one of the greatest gifts, honestly, because it's allowed me to just be confident in who I truly am and to not settle, like in relationships, in anything really in this that this life has to offer. So as I say, for me, what was important is that if I'm gonna travel, because I remember I said to myself, my job actually allows me to move around, so I'm gonna move around as much as I possibly can, because I enjoy traveling, I enjoy exploring. But the main thing was, I'm going to travel and build meaningful conversations and have meaningful conversations, build meaningful, deep connections and relationships with people, and grow my network and grow professionally and personally. And I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to do it and have fun while doing it. So with that, I've had to identify who I wanted to be wherever I went, and I've had to have that common person, like with the common characteristics, where if someone who met me in PE speaks with someone who met me in Joburg, they can resonate because I'm the same person. That the core values and core characteristics are more or less the same. And someone who meets me in Joburg and someone who's met me in KZN, and when they meet and they speak about the same person who they met, which is me, I want them to have the same core values and the same core characteristics that define me as a person. So I've had to dig deeper to identify those things in order to see who I am, who I want to be, and how do I go about doing that for myself. So I've learned to truly be confident in me and being myself and being my authentic self, unapologetically so. The second thing that I've learned to express myself better. When you go to different areas, you meet different people, you learn about their different cultures and different languages and the way they express themselves. You identify what you basically, you don't identify what works for you and what doesn't. That you also do, but you identify what resonates with you better than the other. And then you low-key, sometimes subconsciously pick a few things that you want to incorporate into your life in terms of expressing yourself. And that's what I've been able to do. And that's why I've learned to have the confidence to actually be in front of the camera and speak to you guys, to you from home. So I've learned to express myself a lot better. The third one that I've learned to build meaningful, deep connections with people. It could be with my customers, the patients that I see. It could be with someone that I'm selling a journal or scented candle to. It could be because sometimes I take public transport just because I don't want to drive. It could be someone I met in a taxi, someone I work with, a colleague, a friend that I made through an event, or whatever the case may be. I have learned to build meaningful, deep connections that I've been able to carry for years now, and I'm super grateful for that. And I know that I wasn't gonna do it if I didn't believe in myself and what I had to offer and what I bring to the table, be it in a relationship or a friendship or a business association or whatever the case may be. And I'm super grateful for that. The fourth thing is basically traveling and relocating has helped me to grow my network exponentially. So what I do in each place that I go to, I mingle with people in business, people who are in the health sector. Basically, I mingle with any and everyone, and I learn more about themselves, what they do, what they offer, and I build those networks, and I make sure that I add them onto my contact list so that should I need a network to tap into, I have a network to tap into. And the last thing is basically, it has grew my experience professionally and personally. Professionally, I've had to do so many things in optometry that I feel like if I was stuck in one place, I wouldn't be able to do. I've had to see a different range of customers, from affluent upmarket customers to the middle class to the lower class. I've had the joys of seeing kids, seeing pathology, seeing contact lenses, seeing my elderly patients, which is my current client base. And all of that hones you professionally and it grooms you as a professional. And honestly, I know I wasn't going to be able to experience all of that and learn all of that knowledge if I was working in one space and not moving around. Personally, it has allowed me, as I said, to grow, to network, express myself, but also I've been granted the privilege to travel because every time I move to a new space, it's a new area to explore. And I am Dora the Explorer. Like, I will try to go to most of the tourist attractions. I will try to visit most of the restaurants. And I'm not shy to ask, like I'll ask the locals, okay, what's the best place to go to for this? What's the best shopping center to shop if you're looking for these particular things? And trust me, they love that you're interested in the area and they'll teach you and they'll show you the ropes. And I've been doing just that. And I love it. Like, I love traveling. So it's been a joy and a pleasure, honestly, and a privilege, I could say. And I can't wait to go to my next destination. Which is the last thing, is how has traveling and relocating broadened my perspective. I'm just going to read this down because like I feel like if I try to say it out loud, I'll mess it up. Basically, with each person I interact with, I've learned to see things differently and to live life more holistically and wholeheartedly. And that's just the joys of meeting different people who are in different walks of life and different stages of their lives also. And it humbles you a lot and you learn a lot and you grow a lot from it. So if you are sitting at home and you're wondering if you should go to that next country or that next province or that next, I don't know, city or whatever for your work, just go. Just go. Go wherever you want to go. And believe me, it'll be all worth it. I have seen so many things, so many places, met so many people, and it was not going to be possible if it wasn't for my spirit to willingly travel and explore new heights. So yeah, take that opportunity and run with it. Book that flight, pack your bags, pack up your apartment, and go. You've got nothing to lose. And trust me, the experiences will all be worth it in the end.